The universe had forgotten the taste of human ambition. For 3,000 years, the Sol system remained dark. No signals, no ships, no life signs. The great empires of the galaxy had long since moved on, erasing humanity from their history books like a footnote nobody cared to remember. Ambassador of the Dominion stood on the observation deck of his diplomatic vessel. His four eyes scanned the endless void as his ship passed through what ancient maps called the Dead Zone. This region of space had been quarantined for centuries, not because of radiation, not because of hostile forces, but because of silence. Complete, terrible silence. Earth and its colonies had gone quiet overnight. One moment humanity was there, building, trading, expanding. The next moment nothing. Every probe sent into the dead zone vanished. Every scout ship disappeared without explanation. Eventually, the galaxy stopped trying to understand and simply drew a line around this cursed region of space. But now something had changed. 3 days ago, sensors across 17 different star systems detected the same impossible signal. A pulse, deep, rhythmic, ancient. It came from Earth. Scientists across the galaxy scrambled to analyze it. Religious leaders called it a sign. Military commanders called it a threat. But everyone agreed on one thing: something was waking up. Had been chosen to investigate because he was expendable. The Dominion did not waste valuable ambassadors on suicide missions. His species lived for centuries, but he was old even by their standards. His government saw this as a fitting end to an unremarkable career. His ship crossed the invisible boundary into the dead zone. Immediately, his instruments went wild. Energy readings spiked beyond measurable levels. His navigation systems tried to calculate distances and failed. The universe itself seemed different here. Thicker, heavier, more real somehow. Then he saw Earth. The blue planet hung in the blackness like a jewel suspended in nothing. But it was not the Earth from ancient records. This planet pulsed with light. Enormous structures covered its surface. Towers stretched beyond the atmosphere. Rings of metal orbited the planet in perfect geometric patterns. And beneath the oceans, through the crystal-clear waters, could see machinery. Vast networks of technology stretching across every continent, connected by lines of pure energy. His ship's communication system crackled to life. "Unknown vessel, you have entered protected space. State your purpose." The voice was calm, pleasant, almost musical, but underneath it heard something that made his blood run cold. Confidence. Absolute, unshakable confidence. This was not a warning from someone hoping he would leave. This was a statement from someone who did not care either way. "I am ambassador of the Galactic Dominion," he replied, keeping his voice steady. "We detected signals from your system. We came to investigate." Silence stretched for exactly 7 seconds. Then the voice returned. "The Dominion. Yes, we remember you. Your empire claimed 17 systems during our absence, including 3 that belonged to us. Interesting." Felt sweat forming on his scales. That was centuries ago. The situation has changed. We had no way of knowing anyone remained here. "We know," the voice said. "We watched." The ambassador's heart stopped for a moment. "You watched. You were aware of galactic events." "We have been aware of everything, every war, every treaty, every betrayal, every alliance. We observed while we prepared. Now our preparation is complete." A new signal appeared on his sensors. Something massive was moving behind the moon. Adjusted his screens and felt his jaw drop open. A ship emerged from lunar shadow. But calling it a ship seemed inadequate. This was a mobile planet. A constructed world the size of a small moon, bristling with technology his instruments could not even categorize. And it was not alone. Behind it came another, then dozens more. Ships of every size emerged from seemingly nowhere. Some materialized from folded space. Others rose from the surfaces of nearby planets where they had waited dormant for. The dead zone was suddenly very much alive. "What are you?" whispered. We are what we always were, the voice answered. Humanity, we simply took time to grow. The ambassador's screens filled with data as his ship tried desperately to catalog what it was seeing. Population estimates appeared. Technological assessments followed. Military projections calculated and recalculated. Each number seemed impossible, each reading known physics. 3,000 years ago, the voice continued, we realized something important. The galaxy was not ready for us, and we were not ready for the galaxy. Other species had millions of years to develop. They built empires slowly, carefully, limited by their biology and their fear. We did not have that luxury. We were young, aggressive, dangerous, so we made a choice. Could not speak, he could only listen. We sealed our borders, we turned inward, and we evolved. Not just our technology, ourselves, our minds, our bodies, our very understanding of what it means to exist. We became something new, something better, something that could finally take its rightful place among the stars. The massive ships began to move, not toward, past him, toward the boundary of the dead zone, toward the waiting galaxy beyond. Your governments will have questions, the voice said. Your militaries will have concerns, your people will have fears. This is understandable. We were once like you, small, frightened, constantly fighting over scraps of rock and metal. We remember what that felt like. What do you want? Finally managed to ask. What we have always wanted, to explore, to discover, to build, to protect. The galaxy has become chaotic in our absence. Empires rise and fall, species go extinct, worlds burn while others watch. This is inefficient, this is unnecessary, this will change. The ambassador felt a strange sensation wash over him. Not fear exactly, something deeper. The feeling a child experiences when they realize their parents have been watching them the entire time. The feeling of being small in a universe far larger than they ever imagined. We are not your enemies, the voice assured him. We do not seek conquest or domination. Such things are primitive, wasteful. We seek cooperation, partnership, growth. But understand this clearly. We will not ask permission to exist. We will not negotiate our right to expand. We will not tolerate those who threaten what we have built or what we intend to build. On his screens, watched as the human fleet reached the boundary of the dead zone. Ancient warning beacons that had orbited this region for centuries suddenly went dark. Automated defense platforms that various empires had installed over the years simply shut down. The quarantine was over. Return to your people, the voice instructed. Tell them what you have seen. Tell them humanity has returned. Tell them the silent engines have stirred. Tell them change is coming whether they welcome it or not. Nodded slowly, even though no one could see him. His ship turned automatically, guided by forces he could not detect. As he accelerated away from Earth, he looked back one final time. The blue planet seemed to glow brighter now, warmer, like a fire that had been banked for was finally being allowed to burn. Behind him, the human fleet continued its advance. Thousands of vessels moving in perfect formation. Each one carrying technology that made the combined might of every galactic empire seem primitive by comparison. Each one crewed by beings who had spent 3,000 years transcending every limitation their ancestors had known. The galaxy had enjoyed a long peace without humanity, a comfortable stagnation where the strong exploited the weak and everyone pretended this was natural. That peace was ending now, not through violence, not through war, but through the simple, undeniable reality that something greater had arrived. When finally crossed back into known space, he found a Dominion battle group waiting for him. Dozens of warships in defensive formation, weapons charged, shields raised, ready to fight whatever emerged from the dead zone. He transmitted a single message: "Stand down, there is nothing you can do." The fleet commander demanded explanations. Military intelligence wanted data. Politicians wanted assurances. Provided what he could: numbers, images, recordings. None of it adequately captured what he had witnessed. None of it conveyed the true scale of what humanity had become. News spread through the galaxy like wildfire. Every species responded differently. Some panicked, some celebrated, some immediately began planning how to ally with these returned gods, others foolishly discussed resistance. But beneath all the noise, a single truth emerged that no one could deny. The universe had a new dominant force, not through conquest, not through destruction, but through patience, preparation, and the uniquely human refusal to accept any limitation as permanent. In the weeks that followed, humanity made contact with hundreds of species. They offered technology freely. They shared knowledge without condition. They helped worlds that had suffered under imperial oppression. They mediated conflicts that had burned for centuries. They asked for nothing in return except one simple thing: cooperation. Some accepted immediately. Others remained suspicious. A few attempted military action, believing ancient weapons might somehow threaten these returned humans. Those attempts failed so completely that they barely warranted mention. Ships that attacked simply stopped functioning. Weapons refused to fire. Shields collapsed on themselves. And through it all, no human vessel ever fired back. They simply waited until their attackers understood that resistance was not suppressed. It was irrelevant. Ambassador lived another 2 centuries after his mission to Earth. He spent those years as an advocate for human cooperation. He wrote extensively about what he had witnessed. He advised governments and counseled leaders. He tried his best to help the galaxy understand what humanity had become. On his final day, as his ancient body finally surrendered to time, he received one last message. It came from Earth. It was signed simply, Humanity. Thank you for being brave enough to come when others would not. Thank you for telling our story truthfully. Thank you for helping others understand. You will be remembered. You will be honored. You will never be forgotten. Closed his 4 eyes for the last time with a smile on his face. He had witnessed something impossible. He had seen a species return from silence and change everything. He had watched humanity take its place among the stars. And he knew without any doubt that this was only the beginning. The silent engines had stirred. The galaxy would never be the same. And somewhere out there in the infinite darkness, humanity was just getting started.